Good morning, yogis in YouTube land. We are recording this morning with ShareLove.Fund. In today's recording, today's video will consist of a meditation and then again, restorative. We're going after the restorative poses the last few weeks. My name is Peter Recabello. I am one of the instructors, or it actually says I am the lead instructor for ShareLove.Fund. If you don't know a little bit about me, I am a licensed massage therapist, owner of two wellness businesses, one based in Westport, Connecticut called Presence Wellness, and the other based in Bronxville, New York called Bronxville Wellness Sanctuary. I've been in the wellness industry for over 25 years, going on my 26th year, and done it all: massage, yoga, personal training, back to massage, now more yoga. And today I'm going to share a nice brief meditation, and I'm going to show you, demo our reclined spinal twist, which is the pose of the week, or Supta Matsyendrasana. Supta means face up, Matsyendrasana means twist. So with that said, if you have access to props, pillows, blankets, yoga blocks, or if you're in a custodial situation where you don't have a prop, you can use a pillow, you can put a mattress down, or what I like to say is you can always fold your yoga mat in half. If you have one, you can take it, fold it in half this way to be able to sit. And let's do that. Let's use our yoga mat as a prop this morning in our meditation. So we actually have off camera, you could probably see, we have yoga blanket, we have yoga, we have bolsters, yoga strap, and two blocks. When we sit in meditation, we want ideally to have our hips higher than our knees. But if I sit on a block, if I sit on a yoga mat, my hips won't be higher than my knees. But for our purposes, we want to be as relaxed as possible. So right now, this works for me. This is relaxed for me. I feel warmed up and relaxed because of work this morning. So from here, simply begin to close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, or you can have a soft gaze, depending on your situation. Soft gaze meaning just a gentle opening of the eyes. And turn your focus and attention inward. When you turn your focus and attention inward, begin to take an internal scan of the body. What does that mean? I get a lot of questions sometimes. What do you mean internal scan of the body? Simply turn your attention inward and just notice any areas where you feel any restriction. If you have a tight knee, if your lower back begins to bother you, if you fold your knees this way, crisscross applesauce, and you feel your hamstrings, maybe you need to loosen those up. There are other ways to sit besides cross-legged. You can sit with your feet out if you choose to. You can recline and lie on your back. Sometimes I sit in butterfly pose or goddess pose, seated goddess pose. So just know there's many ways. Sometimes my left knee bothers me, so I'll extend my left leg forward, have my right knee bent. So just take care of yourself. We're about self-care. Take care of yourself first so that you can be able to better serve others. This is what I always say. It's my mantra of life. Take care of me, not in a selfish way, in a nourishing, healthy way. So as we begin to focus our attention inward, and you begin to scan your body, now that you've taken care of those areas of tension, begin to draw your shoulders down and away from your pull the belly in to support your spine. And root your sacrum. So imagine your sacrum rooting down to the earth. And your crown, you have a little, tiny little rope here. And you lengthen through the top of the crown of the head, straightening out the neck and drawing your shoulders away from the ears. And then you have to readjust your belly button to support your spine. Your shoulders land over your hips. And begin to notice your breath. Notice your breath. If your breath is somewhat restricted, begin to soften your face. If breathing through your nose becomes a little uncomfortable, breathe through the mouth a little. Softening your shoulders. And then begin to close our eyes or have a soft gaze. And if any thoughts arise, just keep coming back to your breath. In meditation, it's not about forgetting our thoughts. It's about acknowledging them and accepting exactly where we are. And it's okay. If it's chaos, if it's good, anywhere in between, it's okay. Just accept where you are and be with it. Feel our feelings fully. Know that all will be okay. At least the stuff that we can handle, the stuff that we can control. We can control our emotions, our reactions. Anything outside of us is beyond our control, beyond our reach. And everything in life is temporary. Even we are temporary. We're on this earth for a short period of time. What's your approach to that? I choose to approach life with calmness, awareness, response versus reaction. Let's breathe into that space. And then very, very slowly allow the eyes to float open. And just notice how you feel. And then from here, I'm going to go into a demonstration of our pose of the week, Supta Matsyendrasana, or Reclined twist, spinal twist. I keep forgetting the spinal part. Reclined spinal twist. And in reclined spinal twist, this yoga mat's a little bit longer than I thought it was. And we're live on YouTube, so it doesn't matter where we are. So from here, what I always like to do is I like to be mindful of where my spine is in relation to the mat or the earth. You'll hear me reference earth, not mat. And then I like to ground myself. I like to feel my feet, and I like to have my back as flat as possible. Now from here, oops, sorry about that. See, live on camera. Inhale, we'll draw the knees into chest, and then I like to reach behind the knees and just begin to sway my hips side to side. If your preference is to reach on top of the knees to get a little extra pressure, that's fine. I like to reach behind my knees, sway my hips side to side. And just find that happy space of where I feel my spine is nice and rested on the ground, on the earth. And then from here, I might extend my legs toward the sky to get a little blood flow to the legs. We've done this pose before, dead bug. So again, we're getting all of the blood flow from our feet into our calf muscles, quads, hamstrings, glutes, and again, getting lymph to drain as well. And then I re-bend my knees, and then from here, bring my arms out to shoulder height. Palms can be face up or face down. I like face up because it helps stretch out the chest and shoulders a bit more. And then I'll take an inhale. And on the exhale, I'll begin to lower my knees over, let's say, to the left side. And as long as my neck, as long as I don't have any issues with my neck, if you feel as though you have tightness in your neck or you have tingly fingers, you want to keep your neck, your gaze neutral. You want to look right towards the ceiling. If you want to begin to experience a bit more stretch in your shoulder, so if your knees are over to the left, you would begin to place the back of the right shoulder down. And you begin to feel a stretch across the top of the right shoulder into the pec. And then if you're feeling adventurous and your neck is okay, slowly begin to rotate your head towards your right shoulder. And your left hand can either stay up here for support, or if you want to see how my knees are not together, you can either place a pillow, a blanket, or a prop, or simply take your left hand and then guide your right knee to your left hand. And this stretch you feel anywhere from the outside of the right knee, through the right hip and glute, through the right oblique muscle, into the chest, rib cage, all the way into the fingertips, or anywhere in between. And I would say hold this position for 3 to 5 breaths. You can close your eyes, take a scan of the body. And on your next inhale, so notice that as soon as I lifted my hand off, this decided to come back up again. So for support reasons, I want my shoulders down, and I draw my head back to neutral. And I inhale my knees up to center. Maybe just readjust my spine. Exhale over towards the right side. So notice that my left shoulder is up. So my right shoulder is actually pressed down. My left shoulder is up because I'm feeling a tremendous stretch in that left glute. So it just means I'm a little tighter on this side. So from here, again, head nice and neutral, looking up toward the sky, and then begin to slide the shoulder down and press the back of the shoulder. That creates tremendous stretch in this area here. This is my hip flexor stretching, my oblique muscles, pecs, shoulder, and a little bit more stretch into the glute. Right hand comes on the outside of the left knee. Let the knees are together. And I inhale, and exhale, look over the left shoulder. And I can hang here for 3 to 5 breaths. Just 2 things here to add. Knees up to center, you can also do this. Get a little fancy. You can also cross knee over knee. And then come into the stretch as well. Come into the posture as well. So again, if you want to add a little bit more heat, a little bit more openness to your hips, and you have it, you can add that. Or if you really want to get into your lower back, so that's knee over knee, you can do that on both sides. If you really want to get more into the lower back, I'll show you in both directions. You can bring the knees over and then begin to extend the legs. That gets really deep into the lower back. This is what it looks like when you extend the legs from the front side. And this is what it looks like when you extend the legs from the back side. So this adds a little bit more emphasis. So notice wherever you are in your practice, take what you need. Be creative. Maybe you want to make a whole 30-minute practice of just doing Supta Matsyendrasana or reclined spinal twist, and do it with your knees over knees. Do it with your knees bent. Do it with your legs extended. Come out of it, go back into it. Do whatever you can. You can come out of this, you can go take the feet down, you can go to bridge pose, add a little heat, come down, go right into dead bug. Just little creative ways to get a little bit more momentum. You can come right into happy baby. So again, you can make it an entire practice. As long as your spine is healthy, no contraindications. What would that be? Any herniated discs, any recent lower back injuries or abdominal surgery you don't want to twist. And also, remember about the neck. If you've had any recent neck surgery, herniated discs in your neck, tingliness along the spine. If you're feeling tingliness in your legs, like sciatica, this twist is excellent for you, as long as you don't have a herniated disc. And then from here, to come out of this, I like to either come forward and back, or if that's not in your practice, you can come over to one side, press yourself up, come back to where we started, back to our meditation. And namaste just for a few minutes, because our founder and CEO will be taking over the posture, and I will be taking over the guidance.
Thank you so much, Peter. That was so incredibly relaxing and nourishing to have the twist. And I'm not obsessive or anything, but I'm just gonna be obsessive.
She is.
But now that the mat is adjusted, it's all is well. It was a close call. These were wild times at ShareLove.Fund. So thank you so much. That was amazing. And I'll be at the mercy of you for how you want to lead us through the rest of this RYT 200 Yoga Teacher Training, week 47, believe it or not.
Wow, week 47 already. Incredible. It's amazing how far we've come, but how little we know.
That's an art.
Yes. I always say the first 200 hours are like kindergarten when it comes to yoga. You're figuring out how to pronounce the names, so it's a new language. In Sanskrit, you're figuring out what the hell is a seated spinal twist and how do they get Supta out of that. There's a lot of little things. A lot of the language is taken from Sanskrit. And a lot of Sanskrit, if you really, really dive deep into Sanskrit, I haven't done that deep of a dive, but I've done deep enough dive that it also carries into other languages, one being Latin, and the other being Spanish. So if a lot of words cross over, a lot of pronunciations cross over. So that's why, for me, because I do speak Spanish, sometimes some of the words, not all, some of the words just are natural to say in Sanskrit for me. Sanskrit. I keep saying script.
And that brings me to thank Peter. It's been so amazing, the alliances that we've had with our Teach for a Cause teachers, so that we are able to provide fresh daily content in English and in Spanish for the women at Rikers Island in the custodial situation with the American Prison Data Systems, APDS. So thank you so much for all that linguistic ability, bilingualism.
When you walked into the room, obviously you were off camera, you saw me with the yoga mat folded up. To me, that's the ultimate prop. If you don't have props and you have a yoga mat, it's the ultimate prop, because you can do so much with it. We just did a meditation sitting on the yoga mat.
And I'm so proud ShareLove.Fund has provided yoga mats to custodial women, and believe it or not, blocks as well. They allowed, which is great at some facilities, but all the facilities we serve have at least yoga mats, so that's great.
That's what's wonderful.
How it could be
wonderful.
used for that.
And again, if you're not in a custodial situation, hopefully you're not. You don't want to be in that situation.
Well, all of our teens are in a custodial situation.
That's true. This is true.
They're doing their time until 18, so
that's right.
it can really feel.
But they may have access to a little bit more.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying. So if you have access to a little bit more, you know, you don't necessarily need a yoga block. You don't necessarily need a yoga bolster or a blanket. You can use what's around the house. You can even do yoga on a floor. Yoga was not designed to be on a yoga mat. Yoga was designed to do it wherever you are with whatever you have. And sometimes it's nothing but your own body. So again, know that you don't need all these things to do yoga. You can do it with shoes on. Yogis do it with shoes off. So just, again, take away the excuses and just do your practice. And I highly suggest that if you're embarking on this yoga teacher training, to cultivate your own practice. It's the most important part of what you'll do. It'll make you a better teacher because you can have more offerings.
I just want to explain what that means, and Peter, please chime in if it means something different to you. But when I did my yoga teacher training, my gurus always said, oh, make your own practice, make your own practice. I didn't really understand what that meant. I didn't know if they were saying go to more yoga classes, and this is how I've now come to understand it. Basically, you can take my class and a million other classes all day long, but you're not really going to advance as far as you may in yoga if you just quietly do the one thing that you need. Like, let's say your left side is really tight, so maybe you have to be just stretching like this, or like this, frankly, just on this one side, maybe for an uneven amount of time to even it out. But you would never teach a class or go to a class where they would teach something so unbalanced. So is that kind of what you mean by your own practice? Like, basically to really get the kinks out, it's not necessarily flowy or pretty or like a well-designed class. So I think that to really progress, you kind of have to fill in the blanks on your own. And no one's really going to teach you that unless there is an exception, privates. One-to-one yoga is amazing, and that can also do the trick.
Well, I will say that there are many, many reasons to cultivate your own practice. One, the best place is from having discomfort or an injury. You don't want an injury, trust me, you don't want one. But the best yoga practice that you could design for yourself and be able to help others, it comes from that place, of your own place of having something going on with you that needs to have work on. So Ashley demonstrated something going on in her left hip. Maybe it's her left glute that bothers her. Maybe her side. Maybe she twisted too much. Maybe she woke up literally on the wrong side of the bed and she was stiff on that side and it's just not responding. So when you go into a yoga class, let's say you're stepping into a yoga class because you scheduled it the night before and you woke up, you have this thing and you can't cancel because you're gonna get charged $35. So you go and the teacher asks you, if it's a good teacher, will ask you, are there any injuries? And you raise your hand and say, you know, I just pulled my lower back. The teacher's going to just say to you, be very mindful of how you move today. We may focus on back. We may focus a little bit on this, but I wouldn't do this pose if you're feeling this. So the teacher's going to remind you of those things. However, it's up to you to take care of yourself during that class. When you leave class, you'll feel a little better because you got blood flow, but you're still going to come back to that space. So that's when, if you have the time, that's when you come home and maybe take 5 minutes or 7 minutes doing your R&D. I call it research and development on your yoga mat, wherever you are. Maybe you pull over and you have a grassy area in a park and you just want to sit down with yourself in the grass and just say, you know what, I can't twist, but maybe I can go sideways. Oh, I learned one of those postures where I can just do child's pose. I can do child's pose and walk my hand over to one side or over the other. Or you know what? I'm going to lie on my back and do reclined goddess pose because that's what I learned last week. And I'm going to let that open up my hips. Then I'm going to sit up and come forward and fold over with my feet together. So know that there are so many different things that you've already learned that you can take and apply to anything that's happened to you. So that's part of it. The other part of it is, even if you have nothing going on, practice a pose a day. And then link a pose to another pose. I wouldn't link a standing pose to Savasana, but what I'm trying to say is link Warrior 1 to Warrior 2. Link, Vinyasa. Vinyasa means linking one or more poses together. That's a Vinyasa. It's not hands overhead, forward fold, step back to plank, chaturanga, nishashin. That's a Vinyasa. Vinyasa is many things. Many Vinyasas, again, one or two poses linked together. All right? So you can go from chair pose, high lunge, Warrior 1, Warrior 2. Practice getting involved and play with the arms. Play. Your yoga mat, use it as a playpen. Be a child. That's why I say yoga, 200-hour teacher training is kindergarten. And any of those things you can apply.
Well, this is why we have no final exam. We have an optional one because people asked for it, they really wanted it, but yeah, in kindergarten it's about experiential learning and the experience. So.
And the great thing is, if people want a final exam, they say, well, show me the yoga practice you've cultivated for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we do ask for a video, but not,
There you go.
It's like
15-minute, 10-minute
you want
video.
to be a teacher, then teach us.
Teach us. Teach us what
I
you
don't
know.
really, it's kind of like passing your multiple choice driving test, but being a maniac on the road, so we're sort of, we do the road test and not the written test.
Exactly. It's all about the road.
But people really wanted the written test. So I was like, fine, go torture yourself. It's like, to each his own.
To each his own, exactly. So thank you for letting us talk. Some of these talking points you may not find important today, but you'll come back to them one day and say, oh, I remember when they was talking about that. So just remember that. So from here, we're going to go back into our meditation, Ashley. And I want you to, this is going to be a visualization, very brief visualization type meditation. Why? I want you to envision yourself in Supta, Matsyendrasana, or Reclined Spinal Twist. If you can see it, you can do it. From here, begin to cultivate awareness, internal awareness, by taking your focus and attention inward. Gently begin to close your eyes or have a soft gaze. Soften the space between the eyebrows by softening your eyelids. Part your lips to relax your jaw. Pull the belly in to support your spine. And then breathe or bring the breath to any areas that might be restricting you here. If you feel tension in your shoulders, maybe you need to round the shoulders down. Maybe you need to do a couple circles. If you feel like your neck is a little stiff, maybe you need to bring it forward, roll it over to one ear, one side, roll it back over to the other, or just make big circles, move slow. Whatever you decide to do, just take care of you. If you have an itch that needs attention, scratch it. And notice if the body begins to whisper. Just notice if the body begins to whisper. And if you've seen pictures of Supta Matsyendrasana or Reclined Spinal Twist, if you've seen a picture of it, imagine yourself in that pose. Imagine yourself moving from one pose to the other and coming into that for your final poses before Savasana. Or maybe imagine it after doing an entire working on the floor entirely for maybe 20 minutes, you've done some floor work and just need to twist. Just notice you can come at that spinal twist from anywhere. Now see yourself in that twist, moving very safely with breath. And then breathe into that space. Inhale, fill the belly with air. And then exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Couple more rounds. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more times. And then very, very slowly allow the eyes to float open. And just notice how you feel. Just notice. Maybe there was a shift, maybe there wasn't a shift. Maybe you saw yourself in that pose, you're like, I don't like it. Maybe you loved it, maybe you just wanted to stay there. There's all these little things arise. And then one little thing is when you open your hips, be prepared. Because we have issues that lie in our tissues. And when we begin to do some twists and open up the hips and all this other stuff, sometimes things come up and they come up involuntarily. And just let it flow. Like I said, feel your feelings. Very important. And from here, actually, I will ask you to come over into tabletop when ready. Do a nice nourishing practice. I'm going to take Ashley through every single little adventure today. So from here, spreading your fingertips wide, drawing your shoulders over your wrists, your knees over your hip, your knees beneath your hips, coming to a neutral spine, pulling the belly in, and then inhale and exhale. Now begin to just do a few cat-cows, just a few. Notice that she's wagging her neck versus her tail because she's feeling maybe a little tension in her shoulders. So as you see your students move, maybe you can draw attention, and if you had a plan, maybe you take something away and come at the plan a little differently. If you see a lot of your students like doing some stuff with their neck and shoulders. Remember, we're at computers all day long. And to jump into a yoga practice, you begin to feel areas of tension like, wow, I didn't really know that was so stiff. I need to work on that. So maybe you reframe your practice, geared towards your students' needs for that day, that moment. A couple more actually. And then from here, tuck your toes under on the inhale, spread your fingertips wide, exhale, downward facing dog. Knees are bent. Yeah, press your chest towards your knees. Now inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes, rise up high. Exhale over the heels. Inhale, rise up high. Exhale over the heels, 2 more times. Inhale, rise up high. Exhale over the heels. Inhale, rise up high. Exhale over the heels. And press your chest towards your knees. Maybe walk your hands back a couple of inches. Press your chest towards your knees. Lift your hips up. Beautiful. Flat back. Relax your head. Let your head be heavy. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Release any tension. Now from here, rise up onto your tippy toes. Inhale. Exhale. Unfold into a plank. Shift your weight forward. Belly in. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale into baby cobra. Exhale, child pose. Then from here, actually slowly begin to walk the hands over toward the right side of the mat. So we did this the other day. And then keep the left elbow lifted and press your hips back to create stretch along that left side. So she's getting stretch along the entire left side. And you'll see that when we walk the hands over to the right. Inhale, walk the hands to center. Exhale, hands over towards the left. Keep the right elbow lifted, press your hips back. Create stretch along that right side of the body. And you usually feel one side over the other. So if your neck is bothering you, your shoulders are bothering you, it's a great stretch for that. Now, inhale, walk your hands to center. Imagine you had a ball in each hand, so we're tenting your fingers. Lift the elbows off the earth. Walk the fingertips forward. Press your hips back. And then now from here, lower your hands to the earth. And draw the arms alongside you. That's like a nourishing child pose, so a non-working child pose. And if your student happens to turn the head one way, please be mindful and cue them not to keep it that way too long. Otherwise, talk about a stiff neck. And then from here, actually, inhale, slide your hands beneath your shoulders. Press yourself right back up into tabletop. Tuck your toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. So this down dog was different. It's going to feel a little different than the first one. Now, slowly begin to walk your feet towards your hands, come to a forward fold. And now from here, walk your hands behind your calves. And very, very slowly, pulling the belly in, begin to roll up to stand. Go slow, slow, slow. How do you feel to be upside down for so long?
It's like my happy place.
All right. Now inhale, arms reach out and overhead. Exhale, chair pose, just for a brief moment. Chair pose, just to fire up the legs. So we have a reason to stretch them. Inhale, step your right foot back to high lunge. Beautiful. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. So elbow to knee. Beautiful. Inhale, hands heart center. Exhale, twist, rotate so that both hips face forward. So come to the ball of your right foot. Twist. Yeah, now come to the ball of your right foot. There you go. Nice. So it's a twist and a rotation. And then take that right elbow on the outside of the left knee. In this twist, breathe, inhale. Exhale, inhale, rotate the body to center as you frame your left foot with both hands. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower the knees, chest, chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward. And step it back. Inhale, step your right foot forward. And step it back. Inhale, left forward, step it back, inhale right foot forward, and hold here. Shift your weight forward as you inhale. Right foot is planted on the mat, good. Exhale from here, begin to rise up into high lunge. On the exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Now from here, inhale, begin to draw the hands to heart center. And then roll up to the ball of your left foot. Step your left foot forward, forward fold. Cross your opposite elbows. Beautiful. Inhale, hands to shins for half lift. Exhale, press into your feet, rise up to stand, mountain pose. Beautiful, Ashley. Now from here, inhale, arms reach out and overhead. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, hands heart center. Exhale, step your left foot back, sorry. Inhale, begin to take your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. I don't know if you guys remember, I forgot to do the twist on the other side. So here we are adding it. See, you can always weave it in. Now from here, inhale, step your left foot forward. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Slide your hands beneath the toes. And then from here, draw your forehead towards your knees. Bend your knees ever so slightly. Draw your forehead towards your knees. And then see if you can straighten out the knees. Keep the forehead on the knees. Yes. Tremendous, tremendous back bend. And then from here, inhale, hands to shins for a half lift. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back to plank. Shift your weight forward. Inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, child pose. Exhale, just stay right where you are. And then now from here, slowly begin to make your way onto your belly. Maintain your forearms onto the ground. Slide your elbows beneath your shoulders. No, beneath the shoulders. On the mat, slide the elbows beneath the shoulders. There you go. Elbows beneath the shoulders.
Sphinx.
Yes. But you notice I don't call out poses, right? Spread the fingertips wide. Lengthen through the crown of the head. So lift the head up toward the sky. Draw your shoulders back and away from your ears. Good. Spread the fingertips as wide as possible. Sphinx pose. And then now from here, press yourself back into child pose. And then from here, on your next inhale, begin to slide yourself onto your belly. make a pillow for yourself with your hands, and then bend your knees and sway your hips side to side, like windshield wipers. Then from here, come to stillness, and then extend the legs long onto the mat. Now, come up onto your right elbow. Just your right elbow. Yep, no, not coming all the way up, just on your right elbow. And then now begin to turn your right hand in towards your left. Right hand, bring it in, there you go. Now, begin to roll over onto your right side, and then roll over onto your back. Just a fancy way.
Okay, yeah, I got a little bit afraid of side plank, and then that was an example of don't worry about the future, because you don't know what the future will be, so it turned out to be.
And also that was, like we always say, anticipation.
Yeah, so not always helpful.
Yes. Sometimes when you just go into anything with a blank mind, you don't anticipate. Yeah. Hug your knees to chest. And then draw your arms alongside you as you extend your legs toward the sky. Now extend your arms toward the sky. Shoulders away from the ears, palms facing in towards one another. Belly in. And then from here, begin to cross your right knee over your left knee. That's right knee over left, good enough, right knee over left. And then bend your knees and reach for the opposite ankles. Create stretch, beautiful. And now draw your arms out to shoulder height.
I don't know, shoulder height.
Yep, shoulder height, yep. And then now from here, begin to draw both knees over towards your left. Take your, look at this, she doesn't need to take the left hand and guide the right knee down anymore, she's already there. So, Supta Matsyendrasana with knee over knee. Right knee over left knee. Press the back of your left shoulder down. Look over your left shoulder, right shoulder, sorry. We're going to do this with a different arm variation so you can see on the left side when she does this. Now, draw your head back to neutral, and then getting your IT band stretch, your hips stretched. And then from here, bring both knees over towards the right side. This time, I'm going to ask Ashley to bend her, come into cactus arms on her left side. So bend her left knee, her left elbow. Just one arm, just your left arm. Good. So that's a little bit more stretch in your shoulder, huh? Mm-hmm. Look over your left shoulder, cactus arm. So again, you could do many different things with the arms. And then from here, begin to slide that right arm back up to shoulder height. Both arms out to shoulder height. Extend them. Extend them out. Both arms out to shoulder height. Extend them. And then inhale, draw your knees in towards your chest and uncoil the legs.
Okay, this is a really wonderful restorative pose. I do need to take a quick emergency call, but I will be back in 1 minute. But if everyone could just kind of relax in this pose, we'll be right back. Just an extra minute there is amazing.
What I'll do is I'll step in just to show a different variation of arms actually, I'll just show you a different variation of the pose. So your arms can be in cactus, so you get a little extra stretch in your chest. And then you can have one leg extended and one on your hand, the bottom of the foot over the knee. And you can take that knee across. This is again, Supta Matsyendrasana. Version number 4 of the spinal, reclined spinal twist. This is the deepest stretch in the lower back. If you have a prop, take a block, place that right here. While Ashley's on her call. Emergencies happen.
It's like, Goldilocks, and he's taking all the good stuff, so.
I was just showing them a different version of the spinal twist, and
That's awesome.
You'll demonstrate the opposite side.
Okay, cool. I think we all want a spinal twist. It feels so good.
Oh my God, heck yeah.
Okay.
As I crawl off camera, see, she chased me off the mat. How dare she do that?
It's a good spot, this mat.
Yes. Okay. Now from here, Ashley, we're gonna go into the version that I just did here. So from here, you extend your right leg long onto the mat.
Oh wait, and then did we do it on this side? I can't remember.
Yes, we did.
Oh wait, awesome. Yeah, okay, we did both sides.
Extend your right leg long onto the mat. Place your left foot on top of your right thigh. Beautiful. Left arm comes out to at shoulder height. Good. Palm face up or down, doesn't matter. And then take your right hand on the outside of your left knee and then draw your left knee slowly across the body. Try to maintain your hips onto the ground though. There's the key.
I'm super tight, so for some people it'll be more over, but if you're trying to keep the hips grounded, this is as far as I can go.
And if she breathes, inhale, exhale, she might be able to go a little further. Pull that knee a little further across. There you go. Inhale. And exhale, draw it across the even.
I just want to say, make sure your foot is not on your kneecap.
Yeah.
You don't really want, on your thigh. You don't want to put pressure on your.
And if this is uncomfortable, you could always bring your foot to the ground, either on the other side or the same side.
So yoga is about opposites, the idea of getting the knee to the ground, but then also the hip to the ground.
Right, so can you just please put your knee all the way to the ground, all the way over? So there's no benefit here, because she's not stretching her hip.
This is why sometimes in a group class, they'll say like, okay, put your knee on the ground, and everyone thinks, oh yeah, I've done it. Sometimes like looking bad is like actually doing more. Like it's not about, if we say try to get your knee to the ground, it's not actually about getting your knee on the ground. It's not like, oh, my knee touched the ground, ding, 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 that's a $100 prize. It doesn't work that way. It's literally about the process. So it's about where do you feel the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And so thinking about the knee to the ground allows you to start this process, this pathway of the stretch.
I always say knee towards the ground, the intention with intention. So it's towards, right? Because we want the hips to be as flat as possible in this, because the intention is opening up the left glute and hip.
I love that. I'm just going to kind of categorize that for teacher trainees. So basically to make the cues directional and not the destination, but the direction.
Yes.
Towards. I love that, towards.
Towards. That's why in like down dog, heels toward the earth. Right? Because that's intention. They should eventually, maybe one day they'll get there. If you have tight calves, if you've had calf injuries, maybe one will get there. Maybe none of them will get there. If you have tight hamstrings, maybe they'll never get there. You just don't know. That's why we say towards. Okay. Now from here, now for my spiel. Begin to slowly draw your left knee into chest. Use both hands, and then bring your left knee away from your chest. Yeah. This is wind relieving pose. Just please, not for our purposes here, Ashley. No wind relieving. Now from here, plant your left foot onto the earth. Plant it onto the earth. Yeah, there you go. Now extend your left foot long onto the mat, and then draw your right knee And then draw your right knee over towards the armpit. So we're going to reverse our towards the armpit, right armpit. There you go. And then from here, this is like a massage of your ascending colon. And then take your right foot, place it on top of your left thigh. And then take your left hand on the outside of your right knee, or right arm out to the side. So it's a little bit more involved with this. That's why it's deeper and much more nourishing. And then draw your right knee toward the earth. You might be saying, what side of the planet when you say toward the earth? And then very, very slowly begin to come back begin to draw your right knee into chest. And as you roll onto your back completely, right knee into chest, as you roll onto your back, and right knee again towards your right armpit, left knee towards the left armpit. There you go. Prepping for, what are we prepping for here? Happy baby. Both elbows on the inside. So you see, that's a vinyasa. Why? We linked two poses together, actually three. There's one in between. Actually four, right? Because we did knee into chest, then both knees into chest, and then happy baby, and then we did the spinal twist. So we did two versions of the spinal twist. There are two more. Oh my goodness. How many of these things are there? So now from here, Ashley, I'm going to ask you to bring both arms out to shoulder height. Onto the earth, out to shoulder height. Draw your knees together. Keep the feet up. Draw your knees together. And then very slowly and very mindfully begin to draw your knees over towards the right side. Go slow, 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 slow. Keep the knees bent. So this is one version. Supta Matsyendrasana. Supine, face up, supine, supta, supine. Matsyendrasana, twist. Now extend your legs towards the right. A little deeper into her lower back, a little deeper into her shoulder, left shoulder. I'm going to keep Ashley here till eternity. No, just I want her to feel the full effects of stretching and lengthening the whole entire left side of the body. And what she can do is she can slowly bring her left shoulder down, her left elbow down. Yeah, and then press the back of the left shoulder down. That increases the space from your left shoulder through your left elbow. And her shoulder was really tight, her wrist would begin to bend. And then from here, very, very slowly, begin to bend both knees. Hold the belly in and draw the knees into chest. Move a little slow. And then from here, inhale, bring both knees over toward the left side. Pause here for a few breaths. into that space. With each inhale, lengthen. With each exhale, deepening into that space you're creating from within. You could think of this pose as a very restorative and nourishing pose. Slowly, just paying attention to my cues, just slowly begin to bend your knees first. And then pull the belly in as you inhale and bring the knees up to center. Exhale, begin to just bring the knees into the chest again, and now bring them towards the rib cage. And then now towards your armpits. And then take the elbows on the inside of the knees, elbows on the inside of the knees, and coming into happy baby. And this happy baby is probably a little bit different, maybe. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Different than the first time we did it. Maybe a little bit more stretched out in the inner thighs. And then in this happy baby, I'd love for you to do a full back bend. How? By straightening out your legs. Beautiful. So from here, stretching your calves, your hamstrings, your Achilles, lower back, upper back and shoulders. And then from here, Ashley, begin to slowly bend the knees and draw the knees into the chest and hug behind the knees. Now, from here, roll yourself forward and back. What she's doing, she's massaging her upper back, lower back. Might get a little snap, crackle, pop with the spine. And then very slowly, you're going to come into a seated position. And you're going to keep the feet, keep the feet pointed out in front of you, and then we're going to add just a little bit of heat for 1 second. So she's going to bend her knees ever so slightly.
It ain't over till it's over.
Nope, it ain't over till it's over, exactly. Now plant your feet onto the ground. Walk your feet just a few inches out in front of you. Good. Now extend your arms forward. Palms face up, shoulders down away from the hips. Beautiful. Palms face up, like you're ready to receive. Nice fresh cup of coffee because it's morning. Draw your shoulder blades in towards one another. Beautiful. You can keep Ashley, we can keep her right here, and she's already working her core. Or we can begin to ask Ashley to just come back just about 10 degrees. Come back, that's it. Just before her shoulders begin to round a little bit, and she's pulling the belly in. Now she's gonna walk her feet forward just a few more inches. That's it. That's it. This is just a modified version of boat pose. So we're gonna get her core fired up just a bit. And then if we want to add a little bit more heat, we can either have her come back more or begin to go 1 inch forward and back 1 inch. And come 1 inch forward and then back. Slow, inch forward and back. Just 3 more of those. 1, back, 2, and back. 3, and back, and hold, 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 hold. And then hands come alongside you. And then from here, slowly, slowly make your way down onto your back. Hug your knees to chest. So we may actually work a little bit. Planting your feet onto the earth. Inhale, exhale, lift your hips up toward the sky. Inhale, begin to draw the arms beneath you. And then interlace your hands. Just get a stretch through the shoulders and chest. Lift the chin to be able to breathe a little bit more. Bring the heels of the hands together. Couple more breaths. And then very slowly begin to release the hands from beneath you. And then on a 10 count, from the upper body to lower body, begin to lower each vertebrae to the earth. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now draw your knees into chest. Now from here, bring your arms out to shoulder height again. And let's come on over onto the left side with both knees over to the left. Again, revisiting our spinal twist. What is it called? Supta Matsyendrasana. Supta Matsyendrasana. Reclined spinal twist. Just revisiting it over and over and over. And we can make this a little fancy if Ashley keeps her left knee bent and extends her right leg. Just extend your right leg towards me.
Okay, sorry, it's really relaxed.
That's a brain tease right
Yeah, if I start snoring, just poke me.
She did. We'll throw cold water on her. What do you think?
Anything for a good cause, right?
Anything
What
for a
was
good
that,
cause,
the
that's
ice bucket challenge?
Exactly. So this feels a little different, doesn't it? One knee bent over the other.
Yeah, it's really nice, all these little variations. And when we're talking about, I'm just going to keep my head away from the camera, so I apologize for not looking at you, but I want to be in the right position. When we talked about having a self-practice, that's really what you can achieve in the self-practice, is experimenting with all these different variations. And it was like what Peter was saying, even if you have your own injuries, you're experimenting and making little modifications to better serve your own injury, it will make you a better teacher, because then someone down the line might say, hey, I have this injury, and then you'll say, oh, I know just the variation to make you feel really great.
Mm-hmm.
And that sharing is caring, and that is what we are all about at ShareLove.Fund.
Yeah. And I'm going to, you stay right where you are, Ashley. I'm just going to add one prop to this, 2 props, so that you can see just different variations of this twist. So one prop, if we were in a yoga class or we were doing a private, I might say, oh, you know what? I'm going to place her foot on the block. And it just relaxes the hips more, but she's still getting the same benefits. Suppose we want to do this, but she can't get this foot onto the ground. This is one way. Another thing we can do is, if she can't, if her hip, let's see, if she takes her knee, bends it, and the knees don't come together, you could take the yoga block, place it right between the thighs, which adds another extra benefit as well. So again, using props to better serve us.
And that RYT, the Registered Prenatal Yoga Teacher Training, which I encourage all of you to take after this, there will be modifications for prenatal, and when you're pregnant, this feels really good also, and this also could be like a way to sleep, and there's even like pregnancy pillows and stuff like that. We're not selling that. You don't need anything, but I'll just, you know, as a formerly pregnant person to someone who might be pregnant, actually those long pillows feel really great.
Just take this away. Just put both knees together. Now, inhale, knees up to center. Exhale, knees over to the opposite side. Now extend your left leg. No, that's the leg.
Okay.
The other leg.
Learning on the job.
So like
Job
on this
skills.
side, she actually needs the block because if you could see, if you could tell, your foot's not on the ground like it was on the other side. So you see how like one side, we're always tighter on one side over the other. So I'm gonna let the block just hang out there. Again, that's why we bring pops, to enhance our practice. And it's okay for you, we're not, listen, when we're born, we're symmetrical. After that, life takes over. And then very, very slowly, let's begin to bend both knees. And then bring the knees up to center. And then now, I'll ask you to bring your arms out to shoulder height. And we're gonna revisit a posture from our last class by bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the feet come to the ground. And just hang here again. Many, many different ways to go from one pose to the other. Be creative, have fun. Yoga is about having fun. If you take it serious, don't take it serious because it's not life or death. Have fun with yoga. Be playful. I crack a joke in every yoga class. And then very, very slowly begin to draw the knees together. And then slowly begin to extend the legs onto the mat. And then bring the feet to mat width apart. No, with the legs extended. And palms face up. Arms about 6 to 8 inches away from the body. Coming into Savasana.
And here, Peter, I wanted to say that I so much appreciate you coming. I know you have a million things and you made time for ShareLove.Fund. So if you want to leave me in Savasana and have me finish off the class, I'm happy to do that, or whatever suits your schedule. I might secretly just stay here for 3 hours. I'm just kidding.
Stay here for a few minutes.
We won't go past an hour and a half, but.
I want to just guide you into a little breath work.
Okay, amazing.
Exit stage right.
I welcome that.
So from here, Ashley, slowly begin to turn your focus and attention inward and take an internal scan of your body. Feel the support of Mother Earth beneath you. Feel her gentle embrace as she supports you, fully supports you. She's got you. Place one hand onto your belly and one hand onto your heart. Feel what it's like to feel the being that lies within you. This radiant, bubbly, exuberant, happy.
This is why I like hanging out. If you guys need a self-esteem boost, just book a private with Peter. Presence Wellness, Westport, Connecticut. I recommend it to a friend.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You've got you. You just have to relearn how to support you.
I'm just going to give a shout out to Nicole at Align to Change. And basically she said, she's an incredible executive coach who I also recommend to a friend. And she said, just figure out who you are and then start playing to your strengths. So everybody is great at something. Just figure it out and play to your strengths. Don't beat yourself up on what you're not as good at.
Exactly. You're not going to be good at everything. One thing you can be good at is being good to yourself. That's playing to a strength. So when you feel your heartbeat, there's a being inside of you that's wanting to come through. So wherever you are, whether you're in a custodial situation, although it might feel like an eternity, maybe it's temporary. How do we make the best of every situation? By being fully there. I have no idea what it's like to be in a custodial situation, meaning in Rikers. But I do know what it's like to be told what to do till I'm 18 and then not told what to do since then.
I do still try to boss them around a little bit.
Yes, they try. People try. Doesn't work. That's why I work for myself, because it doesn't work. I don't make a good employee. I know that. That's why I work for me. I do make a pretty good boss, or leader, CEO, whatever you want to call it, or fellow workmate.
I love that because that's playing to the strengths.
Yes, yes. And then from here, begin to draw both arms alongside you. Come back to Savasana. After you've felt what it's like to feel yourself, feel your heartbeat, feel that rhythm of your heart, feel your belly, breathe, feel the fresh air come in as you expand the belly, feel the fresh air leave as you relax the belly. Stay with that cycle of breath. all so much for letting me be playful with you today. I will leave the rest of you to the hands of our wonderful CEO of ShareLove.Fund.
So you can feel your spine settling in, gaining connection with the mat as you breathe in, feeling more relaxed with each breath. Allowing your toes to roll to the sides of the mat, towards the sides of the mat, incorporating that teaching tip of saying towards and not the final destination. With your palms open to the sky, you may feel your fingers curled, just whatever is a relaxed state. Allowing your brow to soften, gently parting your lips, releasing tension in your jaw. gently bring your awareness back. You can bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, rocking side to side. And with that momentum, you can bring your knees all the way down to one side, palms to the ground, and gently push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. How do you feel? May the light in me be the light in you. Have a blessed day. Namaste.